This is the program that shows you the side of police chase videos they didn't want you to see. Bungled arrests, kamikaze crooks and cop-based carnage of all kinds. Welcome to Cops Uncut, the real car crash TV.
On my way.
Coming up on Cops Uncut. This officer gets overexcited. This biker gets bumped off the road. And we get a bird's eye view of a poolside pursuit.
Taking off again.
What you're about to see is a rare example of cops working together in perfect harmony. The Hardyville Police Department obviously get on well with each other, and none of them is more selfless than Officer Chris Nollinger. He may be on the tail of this pickup, but he wants to step aside and let one of his colleagues take over.
I'll go ahead and, as soon as they get in, I'm going to back off and let them take the lead.
What a nice man.
All right, get him up here. I need some help. These guys driving crazy.
Yes, driving over a rumble strip is considered pretty far out here in Georgia.
Advise him as soon as he gets up here, I'm going to back off and let him take the lead. So that way he can go ahead and do what he's got to do. If you get somebody else up here.
What Officer Nollinger is waiting for is this. It's a police SUV, which acts as a sort of specialized unit for pit maneuvers. And as you can see, there are some beefy-looking rhubards attached to the front for that very purpose. Like a lion stalking its prey, the unit first of all tracks its suspect. He then pulls alongside looking for weak points and possible angles of attack. But he's not going to move in for the kill just yet, as his buddies are clearing traffic from the road ahead to give him as much time and space as he needs. Now he's got 3 lanes to play with, it's time to get down to business, and he soon goes bumper to bumper. That may have looked like a failed attempt, but he was just getting his eye in, so now it's time for something a little more forceful. And Officer Collinger is on hand with some words of support.
Oh, do it now. Get up there, Matt. Come on. Get him, Matt. Get him.
Ah, who needs motivation when you've got cheerleaders like this?
Do it now. Come on. Do it. Yeah. Come on. Oh. All right, 1050 Central, 1050. He's headed him out. Stand by.
Now he's been spun off the road, this suspect has got a lot more than just one man and his dog to contend with. These cops work together to track down their man. As well as appreciating the value of good teamwork, they also appreciated the value of a good pit maneuver. And it's always a pleasure to ram someone off the road when you've got your fan club to cheer you on.
Do it now. Come on. Do it. Yeah. Come on. Oh. All right, 1050 Central, 1050.
Still to come in part 1. This cop gets carried away, and this suspect can't escape from the flying eye. Today's 9 Lives Award goes to Andrew Thelen of Sherburne County, Minnesota, who lived to tell the tale after this close call with the Grim Reaper. He pulled over a Ford Explorer after two separate members of the public complained that it was being driven erratically. With his colleague checking the Ford over, Thelen asks the driver to get out. But as he tries to unlock the door, this happens. As they were picking up speed, not only did he manage to stop himself from falling into the snow, he also pulled his gun and politely asked for the vehicle to be stopped. The driver, one William Krawchuk, simply carried on, so Thelen was left with no option but to open fire. Incredibly, when his colleagues catch up with him, this superhuman state trooper is running after the Explorer as it comes to rest in a nearby field. When Krawchuk was arrested, he had half a bottle of whiskey in his system and the other half was on the seat next to him. This daring deputy hitched a ride on the running board. But after a brush with death, it was his suspect who came off second best. Learning to ride a motorbike isn't that different from learning to drive a car, and one of the first routines everyone goes through is mirror, signal, maneuver. The rider up ahead appears to have been practicing and does everything right as he approaches the next turning. But no matter how good his road skills are, he's obviously got something to hide, because as soon as the cop car copies him, he accelerates away. And now that he's in a chase, the highway code goes straight out the window, or should that be, over the handlebars. As well as speeding and veering onto the opposite side of the road, he's invented his own brand new routine. It's called signal, mirror, signal, maneuver, signal, signal.
Get the dirt road, you come out down the 78 highway.
Not that the cop cares too much by now. All he wants to do is pull this biker over and get him into custody. And the great thing about motorcyclists is that they haven't got the option of winding their window up. So even when they're on the move, you can pull alongside for a chat. Neither of these two seems to care too much for negotiation, though, so it's time to settle things the old-fashioned way. When you're on a bike, there's no seatbelt and no airbag, but there's also nothing to stop you from running away. Which is exactly what this bloke does. It's a big forest, and it's the beginning of a long, dark night, so for all we know, he could still be out there.
Taking off again.
This guy is on the run from a charge of assault and battery, and he's decided to go out in style. Rather than the usual grimy back streets, he's leading the cops on a chase through Millionaires Row. And down here by the marina, he's more likely to plough his car into a swimming pool than a brick wall or a branch of Burger King. So while this airborne unit and their colleagues on the ground decide how to stop him, we can sit back and admire the real estate. With so many boathouses, tennis courts and gravel drives on show, you'll probably be able to see this video in the new series of Knots Landing. In fact, a car crash or a shootout would really spoil the local ambience, so the cops had better be careful, because they'll never hear the last of it if there's so much as a blade of grass out of place on anybody's front lawn. In this neck of the woods, you even get a better class of bystander. So when the suspect intimidates one of the locals, it should come as no surprise what kind of car they're driving.
Quarter one, he just ran an SUV off the road. 18
But the cops have come up with a plan, and there's an officer hiding behind the nearest yacht with some stop sticks in his hand.
But whoever's got sticks, get ready, because here he comes. You're only maybe 100 yards right now. Sticks right now, if you're going to have sticks.
244, he hit the sticks. He got the sticks. Get him out of the way.
Move over, Johnny. Behind the trees, Mike.
Now his tires are like a bottle of champagne that's been left in the fridge overnight.
Tires are going flat.
If this guy makes a run for it here, they'll be hearing the burglar alarms in the next state.
He ain't jumping, so... Car stopped, suspects out of the vehicle on the ground.
Not only that, but Neighborhood Watch would be onto him in a flash. So this arrest is going to be a piece of cake. Time to pat down the suspect and give everyone else a pat on the back.
Guy did a good job with the sticks.
This social climbing crook went on a tour of Tinseltown. But security was so tight that he couldn't break into the world of the rich and famous. So now he's rubbing shoulders with the criminal classes, and the barbed wire fence isn't there to keep him out, it's there to keep him in. There's been a bank robbery in Palm Beach, Florida, and half of the gang is being apprehended at this intersection. Meanwhile, the cop we're on board with has just spotted the other half. Like a red flag to a bull, whenever these guys reach a stoplight, they think that it's telling them to charge. Several red lights later, and their pursuer is only just managing to stay in touch. So he must be relieved when some backup arrives to help him out. You'd think the cops now have strength in numbers, but all this faffing around and driving in formation puts them even further behind. Whilst they may not be able to go straight in real life, when it comes to a getaway, these bank robbers know how to keep things simple. In fact, if they keep on heading west at this rate, they'll end up in the Gulf of Mexico. It's midday in midsummer in the Sunshine State, so perhaps the rubber has melted on their tires because somewhere along the line they've picked up a flat. There's no point staying on the main road now, and with the cops suddenly right on their tail, the crooks must be wondering where that ringing in their ears is coming from. Now the end is in sight, they decide to ditch some of the evidence, although you couldn't get much more conspicuous than throwing it in the path of an oncoming cop car. They've reached a dead end, and being weighed down with a big bag of cash means that this passenger doesn't get very far. At least the driver chose to carry notes instead of coins when he made a run for it, but the cops picked him up later in a nearby house. So remember, you don't want to get stuck with too much cash when you're sticking up a bank. Because instead of sharing the spoils with your mates, you could end up sharing a prison cell.
Taking off again.
Still to come in part 2. This country boy has some company, and this chase gets corny.
Taking off again.
Time for a cautionary tale as we get to meet Mr. Clay Ballman of Borgia, Texas.
I need you to step out here for me, okay, Clay?
A little earlier, Ballman was noticed driving erratically by a local teenager.
Clay. Okay, good. I need you to step out here for me, okay?
She followed him, but as she was calling 911 on her cell phone, he managed to collide with her car.
I'm just sit here with him for a sec. I've asked him if he would
Pretty
step out
sorry
here.
stuff, I'm sure you'll agree, but the really shocking part is what Ballman does for a living.
I'm gonna give him another chance, and then I'm gonna take that as a refusal. Okay.
He's the local district attorney.
Hey, Clay.
And in case you don't know what a DA does, he's the public official who represents the government in the prosecution of criminals. So in this case, he's also representing the government in the definition of irony.
I don't know where your wife is. Okay, I need you to step out here for me.
Not only has Ballman been boozing, it looks like his wife has too, and he's been looking for her in every bar in town.
Okay. He's asking for his wife. He's wondering if his wife's okay. He said he's just out looking for her. I got a strong odor of alcohol.
Believe me, we can almost smell it from here.
Your wife's not here, okay?
If this was any ordinary DUI, the cops would have slapped on the cuffs and thrown him in the back of the cruiser by now.
I understand that, but you got to understand where I'm coming from. You were involved in an accident, okay? I can smell alcohol coming from you. I need you to do some field sobriety tests for me, okay? Will you be willing to do those field sobriety tests?
But these cops know which side their bread's buttered on, so it would seem that there's one law for ordinary citizens and another law for, well, for the law.
Clay, I need you to step out here and do some field sobriety tests for me, okay?
You have 15 minutes to comply.
Go ahead
You
and
may
step
have
out of
thought
the
that
car.
he was avoiding a field sobriety test because of the damage it might do to his reputation if anybody got to see the video.
Clay, let's just step out. Clay. Clay, let's step.
But the more officers that are called on to help out, the more it becomes apparent that he was simply too drunk to stand up. Finally, Ballman is threatened with something other than a helping hand.
Clay, I'm gonna let you know you need to step out of the car or else we're gonna have to spray you, okay? Don't make us spray you. Step out of the car, okay?
And at last, this cop treats him more like a DUI than a DA. The tug-of-war is over, although when they get him to his feet, Ballman looks like Frankenstein's monster in stonewashed denim.
We'll get log one in custody.
This district attorney likes a stiff drink, and when he's sobered up, he'll be able to give himself a stiff sentence. Take a good look at the truck up ahead because it would appear to possess chameleon-like qualities.
I'm gonna be attempting 1050 on that green Toyota pickup again. 179.
Deputy Rayleigh thought it was going to be green, but for those of you watching in black and white, we can assure you that it isn't the case.
He's trying to run, Holmes. He's gonna be southbound on 179.
Rayleigh calls in the license plate just to make sure he isn't hallucinating.
Hotel 64 Delta Echo Alpha.
And now he knows what he's dealing with.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Dodge pickup instead. I think we're gonna try the same trick we did last night.
Instead of Dodge, that should probably be just dodgy. And if anyone's playing tricks, it's the driver, who turns out to be an old adversary of Rayleigh's.
It's gonna be Jason Bruner.
This guy has had his license suspended more times than you can shake a stick at, although he seems to know the back roads rather well.
We're going down Howard Sconyers Lane, dirt road to the left, just south of Highway 2. And it's gonna be Jason Bruner.
When you're trying to outrun the cops in a 4x4, it makes sense to head for the rough stuff.
We're going in a field now.
Although Rayleigh sounds unruffled by the whole thing.
Be careful with him.
He stays with the pickup and pretty soon they're on level ground again.
We're going back out to the highway.
You get the feeling they've both been through this pantomime routine many times before.
Go ahead and notify supervisor.
Bruna picks a road, and Rayleigh calls out the number.
We'll be back northbound on 179, coming up to the caution light.
So, how's it all gonna end?
Go ahead and notify 5199 also. I think he's on bail.
There's a well-worn path not far from here, and it covers just the sort of terrain Bruna's shape-shifting pickup was designed to negotiate.
First thing we're gonna be going to his house is where he's gonna be trying to go.
Trouble is, it leads straight to his front door.
10-4 north, 177.8 north of 2.
So even though Deputy Rayleigh won't be able to follow him,
He's tweaked out. He just went up in a hill on me.
he knows exactly where to go to make an arrest.
13, we're gonna be going to his house is where he's gonna be trying to go.
Choose your wheels wisely. You may be in a hurry when you steal a car, but it makes sense to give it a quick once-over before you hotwire the ignition. Check the oil and water, have a look underneath for rust, and make sure you give your tyres the 10P test. After all, you don't want to have a blowout when you're doing donuts in the B&Q car park. The interior can be just as important if you're trying to impress your mates, so tidy up any crisp packets, empty the ashtray, and eject that Carpenter's CD. The one thing you must make absolutely sure of before you drive off, though, is that there isn't a small child strapped into the back seat. If not, like this stripy-shirted surrogate dad, you could find yourself halfway across a cornfield with a copper on your tail and a baby you've never met before demanding food and toys. So next time you're in the multi-story with a bent coat hanger in your hand, trying to prise open the window of a sports car, remember that a baby on board sticker should sometimes be taken quite literally. So what have we learnt today on Cops Uncut? It's always best to have the crowd on your side.
Yeah, come on. Oh.
It's easy to take a tumble when you're on two wheels. And jump out of one moving vehicle and you might get hit by another. Be careful out there.